Hello, everyone. My name is Aidan Parsons. I'm with Archer Western, part of Walsh Group. I am on the Atlanta project, the 285 bridge replacements. My workflow is the 6-week schedule, specifically changing the 6-week schedule and adding details to it to inform crews and foremen. We'll go to the stakeholders. This is my current state. We have Archer Western, GDOT, and Campbell Construction. Campbell Construction is one of our subs on the project. They're responsible for tying rebar and installing metal decking on the bridges. On the Archer Western side, we have the project manager, the superintendent, and a project engineer. We have a representative from GDOT, and on Campbell Construction, we have the scheduling manager. Next, we'll go to the system of records. We are using P6 and the job site server. This is a local server that we're using for our job site. Next, we'll jump into the workflow. The workflow starts with P6. When the job is bid, the initial baseline is created in P6. The project manager will then export the P6 PDF and submit it, upload it to the job site server. From there, the superintendent will take the milestone schedule and create the 6-week schedule as a draft. The 6-week schedule is created in Excel and is resubmitted to the job site server. There, the project engineer can pull the 6-week draft and control it by delivering it to the owner representative verbally in a weekly meeting and by email to the sub. After those are done, the responses from the owner representative and the schedule manager from Campbell will give their responses respectively, email and verbally. There, the project manager and the superintendent will yay or nay their responses and create the final 6-week schedule, which is then re-uploaded into P6 manually editing, and the Excel version is submitted into the job site server. We'll go over the shared panes next. The first shared pane we have is not everyone has access to P6. This is due to licensing fees. The licensing fee is $88 per person and is not feasible for everyone to have a license. And we do not allow subs and owners to access the P6 because we use it as our baseline schedule. So this is not something they can edit. Our next shared pane is down here by the owner representative. They do not have any system of record to reflect on the 6-week schedule. All they are given is the draft of the 6-week schedule during our weekly meeting. The last shared pane we have is that the 6-week schedule is revised multiple times. This is due to changing of crews and changing of task. So this current state is based on the problem we've been having currently. We're building 3 bridges and 70% of our work is self-performed. So we have to coordinate with Campbell Construction and our crews to determine who's going to build the diaphragms and who's going to put the metal decking down first. So this 6-week schedule is not consistent and it changes week by week. Next, we'll go to the objective statement. All right, for the objective statement, how might we eliminate the processing time and optimize changes to the 6-week schedule in ways that all stakeholders may be more efficient, reduce cost, and eliminate duplicate data entries so that communication between all shareholders is simplified and provides easier access to upcoming events. The future state shows how that how all this takes place. Here's the future state. All the personas are the same. Down here, our system of records, it did change. Here we have the P6, and now we have Autodesk Build. So like I said earlier, our jobs are required to have the P6 schedule as our baseline. So here, the project manager will take the XER file from P6 and upload it to Autodesk Build. I purposely did not integrate these two because we have to keep our 6-week, our P6 schedule separate. It cannot be edited by owners or subs. For other jobs, this process right here could be integrated if that is appropriate for that job. Next, the XER file is uploaded into Autodesk Build, where it is then controlled by the project manager, who can give controls to the project team. The superintendent can add people such as the owner representative and the schedule manager. The superintendent can also give specific tasks to the owner representative or schedule manager, where they can add dates or give their comments on specific tasks. The superintendent can also add details to that specific task, including crews and how long it will take to complete that task. This is a live document. It is all cloud-based, so everyone has access to it. That's one of the shared gains we have here. Another shared gain we have for Autodesk Build is that there's no individual licensing fee. Individuals can be added through email, and they can give controlled access. So for the project engineer, he can be given access either to view or to edit. There's different levels of access to editing the schedule. So we'll go to the cost of all of this. So the process for the current state was 3 days. Now we have 1 day. So we're eliminating 2 days of process time, a savings of approximately 30 or 65%. That's a minimum. I was very conservative with these numbers. This could be much higher depending on the job. So total annual savings is approximately $27,000. This is in reference to $50 per man hour, depending on who's all involved in this process. Let's go down here to the document and data progression. Number one, we have the download. 2, we're attaching the XER file into Autodesk Build. 3, we're controlling, the superintendent is controlling who is able to access the document. 4 and 5 are both responses from the sub and the owner representative. And 6 is the approval by the project manager. So this process is repeated multiple times per week. There's no need for a weekly meeting, which eliminates a bunch of man hours and makes everything cloud-based and paperless. Some advantages we have to this is we're actually implementing this right now. Last week with my project team, we went over the whole research, and they were very accepting of this idea. So we're currently looking into getting a subscription for Autodesk Build and using it internally. We have not yet talked to the owner representative or the sub about this, but future plans are being made to integrate this into our weekly plan. So this is a very practical workflow. It is available now. The integration between P6 and Autodesk Build is not yet available, but for other projects, that would be nice to see if we could get a P6 Autodesk integration. With that, I want to thank Bluebeam and Nathan Wood, Dan Smolio, Caleb Holder, and Karen Malone for helping me through this research process. I've learned so much and continue to work with this workflow and use it in our project.
Awesome. Well done. Round of applause. Great job, Aidan. Way to kick him off. And actually, I realized I didn't even share the slide that went through the 3 steps of what you need to do, but you displayed it perfectly. So you gave us a great starting point. I'll kind of throw it out there if any judges have feedback. I am curious what folks think about when we talk about cloud-based access versus cloud-based control. I think there's an important difference there in how much do we want to actually allow others to change the schedule versus just, see it in real time. And I wasn't, maybe I didn't quite catch how much, control over the schedule an owner's rep or that CC schedule manager should have. Because I think it could allow them to actually make changes to the schedule if you change those settings, but that becomes the tougher decisions, right?
Yes, this is very dependent on what controls the superintendent provides the owner rep and sub.
Awesome.
And then quick question, Nathan, are basically the inputs back into P6, I'm sorry, Aidan, are the inputs back into P6, are those then manually provided from output that you generate in the Autodesk build product?
In this case, we would not upload back into P6. P6 would be used as the baseline schedule, and Autodesk build would be used as the live schedule.
It's creative.
Any other questions?
So there's not a sync back to the master schedule?
There is not currently. For some projects that might be acceptable. We're not allowed to do that because we have to keep those separate.
Yeah, that makes sense. But obviously we know whatever impacts in the 6-week schedule, however that affects CPM and some other things like that. Eventually, it would be, I think, future state would be then to actually then get it to sync back into the master schedule to see what sort of impacts that 6 weeks look ahead is having to the overall schedule.
Yes, I would like to see that integration between P6 and Autodesk build. That would be nice.
Yeah, DJ, tell me a practical way to do that.
Yeah, honestly, at Procore, we still struggle with the same thing, but again, it's all with controls. And you don't want, there has to be some sort of, as Nathan would say, but trust but verify, but make sure what that is, but also keeping big picture something that maybe just in a 6-week schedule. You may be making changes there, but it may push or affecting something longer term. But that's why you have a schedule manager, stuff like that, because they're the ones that actually kind of help, would be able to provide that feedback. So you have that feedback loop there with the schedule manager and then doing this updates. But what you propose, this is a legitimate issue. And time is money, and being able to do this and share it effectively. That's kudos to you on this one. This is well done.
Thank you.